To all our brothers and sisters out there, let me tell you, today is a little hard to believe. It's been 100 days since Fred Zuckerman and I took our oath of office and took over the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. On March 22nd, we fully and faithfully committed ourselves to do whatever it took to make the Teamsters a better, faster, stronger union.
Every week has been different. Every day has been challenging. But Sean and I are in this fight for the long haul. We have begun the process of transforming this union from top to bottom, and we wanted to bring you up to speed on some of the work that we've been up to these past 100 days.
First, Fred and I want every single Teamster, all 1.2 million of you, to understand one thing. As your General President and General Secretary Treasurer, Fred and I are determined to represent all Teamsters. We're here to serve everyone.
On day one, Sean and I convened a meeting of your General Executive Board. Our team began an audit of where your dues money is being spent, looking at ways to structure our programs and campaigns more efficiently, including every department and division. At the forefront was considering how best to respond to the needs of the rank and file as quickly and as responsibly as possible.
During the last 2 years, as Fred and I crisscrossed this country, we were constantly reminded that members' voices must be at the center of everything we do. Rank and file Teamsters kept telling us the same things. You want a more militant union that really fights for you, you want strong contracts and accountable leaders who actually enforce them, and you want change. Since we took office, we've been on the road every single week. I'm not kidding, every week we meet with Teamsters where they work, where they strike, talking in detail about their issues on the ground. So far, we've met with thousands of members in 20 states and in Canada. In our first 100 days, we've met with rail members who have gone more than 2 years without a contract. We've walked picket lines at Breakthrough Beverage in Chicago, alongside ready-mix drivers in Seattle, and striking manufacturing workers in Indiana. We've talked with freight members on loading docks in Atlanta and pipeline workers in Louisiana. We've attended shop steward seminars in Connecticut, Oregon, California, and Maryland. We've walked the floor, the belt, and the break room with UPSers, warehouse workers, prison guards, airline mechanics, rubbish drivers, public employees, dairy members, Disney workers, and school bus operators. We are committed to spending so much time on the road because we are determined to preserve and improve this great union. We can't possibly do that if we don't see, hear, and understand your priorities where you live and work. Fred and I are trying to fix an international union that has seen the loss of more than 500,000 members over the last 2 decades. We are running new education programs, coordinating new organizing campaigns, negotiating national contracts, and establishing a forceful presence on Capitol Hill. I've been telling members it's like we're drinking water from a fire hose, but our union needs big changes. We are not shying away from that. Since March 22nd, the Teamsters' new Training and Development Department has educated officers and members from 49 different local unions. Moving beyond a one-size-fits-all training model, the department is developing division-specific training programs tailored to local unions' needs. The department is also making use of technology in a way the union has never done before, undertaking a partnership with the Labor School at Penn State to launch an online member training platform. In politics, we have already made our presence felt in Washington. I met with President Joe Biden at the White House to emphasize the important contribution Teamsters made during the pandemic. I testified before the Senate Budget Committee about Amazon's disregard and violations of federal labor law. We are working with OSHA to investigate worker injuries in warehouses. I addressed the House Labor Caucus on the needs for lawmakers to deliver meaningful legislation that helps working people. The days of blindly supporting politicians that just pay us lip service are over. Moving forward, the Teamsters will only support politicians who support us. State by state, we've helped pass prevailing wage legislation in Maryland, job protection provisions in Connecticut for Teamsters at Sikorsky, and warehouse worker bills in Minnesota and New York. We are rebuilding our political program and already have signed up more than 5,000 members to drive. We rallied with Senator Bernie Sanders in Chicago against corporate greed and our government's embarrassing failure to uphold the nation's labor laws. I made it clear the government needs to stop handing out tax dollars in the form of subsidies to big business. There's no reason a $1 trillion company like Amazon should get handouts while working people get squeezed. You can be sure our new administration will be vocal and relentless on these other issues. As we speak out, if lawmakers refuse to listen to our demands, we won't support them, regardless of party affiliation. If they work against us, we'll primary them. It's that simple. In the past 100 days, our organizing department has added 20 new organizers and has begun coordinating 50 new projects at 36 locals. We've won 10 campaigns resulting in 2,500 new Teamsters in food processing, warehouse, passenger transport, and the public sector. We have upcoming elections in cannabis, intermodal, construction, school bus, and public services. The organizing department is working with locals in the right-to-work states to sign up members in core industries. We are utilizing our data and analytics department and the research unit of the new strategic initiatives department to identify organizing targets and larger groups of unorganized workers. The campaign to organize Amazon is moving forward and will have ramifications for almost every Teamster in our union. We'll be calling on all members to help with this critical campaign. Our members are the best resource we have in selling the benefits of working under a Teamster contract. Fred and I also plan to approach all national contract negotiations as an opportunity to build density in each industry. In the first 100 days, we've gotten off to a strong start with this perspective. Upon taking office, we immediately faced negotiations of national contracts with American Red Cross, DHL, Costco, and Carhall. And of course, the UPS National Master Agreement expires next year.
As most of you know, Teamster leaders across the country unanimously endorsed a tentative Carhall agreement that will restore faith among the membership and bring respect back to this industry. Teamster car haulers were the most important part of reaching this deal, providing input on proposals and staying engaged throughout the bargaining process. Rank and file members of the bargaining committee played a key role in negotiations, providing their first-hand experience on the job during talks with the companies. There were multiple times when members' real-life experiences contradicted assertions the company made, especially concerning car haul work rules. These contradictions, called out at the bargaining table, resulted in positive changes to the contract. This is exactly the kind of outcome we envisioned when we voted to amend the Constitution at the Teamsters International Convention last year to include rank and file members on negotiating committees. This tentative agreement is the most lucrative car haul contract in the history of our union. We secured annual pay increases that cover hourly wages, mileage, zone rates, flat rates, and everything's retroactive to June 1. We got work rule improvements, maintenance of benefits, Martin Luther King Day as a paid holiday, lead and shift premiums, food allowances, and the maximum cost of living allowance. In recent years, rates in this industry stagnated and membership dropped, but we're resetting the standard. The Car Haul Tentative Agreement will help your union establish a new national organizing model to build union density across every industry the Teamsters represent. Sean and I are determined to organize what we've lost over the last 20 years. The Teamsters are going to have the best work standards possible in our core industries. At DHL, we've begun negotiations and are on our way to securing a new national contract. In 2021, DHL had its most successful business year ever. Annual revenue increased 14% to $93 billion, the highest revenue figure in its history. The U.S. was DHL's fastest growing geographic segment, increasing 25% to $20 billion. With growth like this, we must demand that Teamsters share in the success of DHL. As this year goes on, we'll have the opportunity to organize DHL like never before. We got a major campaign underway at the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport, home to more than 1,200 workers. This airport is the nerve center of DHL in the U.S. and the main international hub for DHL Express. You can be sure that this will be a Teamster hub before it's all said and done. Everything that comes to the U.S. runs through Cincinnati, much like the UPS Worldport hub, already represented by Teamsters Local 89. Recently, our negotiating committee at Red Cross also unanimously endorsed a tentative agreement that includes 9% total wage increases, united contract expiration dates, better family leave, more flexible scheduling, and new paid time off policies. We have also been at freight job sites around the country, listening to members and preparing for contract negotiations next year at ABF, YRC, and T-Force. Our administration is committed to restoring faith in the entire freight industry. That's why we've revamped the freight division and restructured the organizing department to grow our numbers in freight. To all our freight members, we hear you. We know you're frustrated by the years of consolidation and concessions. We know because we're frustrated too. It's one of the reasons we ran to lead this union. No more go along to get along. The concession stand is closed. Over the next year, the biggest fight we've got on our hands is winning the absolute strongest contract for UPS Teamsters. It must be a national agreement that beats back the concessions of the previous contract and recognizes the sacrifices of our members made during the pandemic to keep UPS running. Let's not forget that this year, UPS is making record profits, meaning members have made this company record profits. So in 2023, rest assured we are all coming to collect on every dime owed to our members. With that in mind, our administration has already assembled a national UPS bargaining committee and contract campaign subcommittee, pulling together the expertise and resources of everyone at the international and across our affiliates nationwide to build a powerful, militant campaign. We are going to show UPS that we mean business. The days of walking over Teamster members at UPS are over.
You can be sure your union will never back down, give in, or walk away from a fight. Fred and I took these jobs to give you a union you can be proud of. From day one, we promise you to be honest, to be transparent, to be militant, and to do our part of reminding corporate America of the power of a unified international brotherhood of Teamsters. I hope on day 100 you join us in celebrating what's already been achieved and staying energized for all the battles ahead of us. I've said it a million times and I'll say it once more. The labor movement is a full contact sport and the teams start playing to win. Together, through hard work, all of us are going to make this union the best it can be.